Hi, I'm Liz Larson with The Art of Frosting, back with some cake decorating basics. I'm super excited about today's project. I want to show you something that I discovered. It's almost like Columbus discovering America. It is that you can use these mega muffins from the grocery store or from the superstores for all kinds of things. I mean, who are they kidding? These are not muffins, this is cake. Totally usable for a lot of our projects, so don't be surprised if you see them more often. But it's perfect for today's project. Today we're going to make a single serving graduation cake. This cap is made out of candy melt, so the whole thing is edible. Really excited to show you this one, so let's get started. Hey, actually, before we get started, I want to let you know I did this a little bit like we did Mother's Day. It's in two parts. We're going to do this whole cake first, and then we're going to do a traditional graduation quarter sheet cake using this hat too. So here we go, this time we're really getting started. So for this video, I am going to use a cutting board. You need a small surface, a cookie sheet, something portable that you can move around. Some parchment over that. I am going to use a 6-inch square that I've cut out of a Lipton tea box. Any kind of a cardboard cereal box would work great too. I am going to use a 3-inch muffin from Costco. Any grocery store has them, but you want a large 3-inch cake or muffin. I'm going to use an offset spatula, some candy melts, of course a number 124 in a bag for some roses, and you'll probably see me use my bench knife for spreading. We're going to use some black icing and a filling. So for this I'm just going to use some white icing and some ganache. Let's get started. I've melted my candy melt. You can see it's about this consistency. It doesn't have to be super thin, and I haven't added anything to it, but I basically need to pour out a square that's a little bit bigger than my 6x6. And if I can kind of spread it evenly to start with, that's really helpful. This needs to be a little bit thick so that it'll hold up. And it's going to be kind of a freestanding thing on top of our cake. Spread it out and try to stay as even as you can. And that's where, if you have a bench knife, this tool comes in handy. You can just spread evenly like that. And again, you want it to be kind of thick, but even as well. This needs to go in the freezer for about 3 minutes. It won't be fully set up, so don't try to peel it then. At 3 minutes, we want to cut it into our square. We're gonna put this back on and cut it out. This is a pretty great discovery. I was trying to figure out how to do this graduation hat that I want to do, and I realized that these big cupcakes are like the perfect thing, and I didn't have to bake, plus they're delicious. We're going to make them even more delicious. We're going to go ahead and torte this little mini cake, really is what it is. Take off the top, and we can actually do it in 3 layers. So you can see that I make my first cut and then turn my turntable and my cake. I don't do any sawing. See, there we go. Nice even layer. So this is perfect. I mean, you can use this for pretty much any occasion that you need a mini cake for and that you don't want to bake. I'm just going to put a little layer of ganache in here. And a layer of icing. We're doing this quick, so I'm going to mix it around just a little bit. Like that. Next layer, a little bit of ganache. Now you could put simple syrups, you could do whatever you want with this. You could make these really gourmet. You can use a lemon poppy seed one, or any of the flavors really would work great. Okay, so there's those 2 layers. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to treat this before I get it on there. I need it to be a little bit more of a slope than it is. So I'm just going to cut this at an angle. About like that. Because I want my hat to have that nice slant to it. Give it a little bit of drama. And there we go. I'm going to put my next layer on of my black. I've used just a little really light crumb coat on it, but you don't need a lot. And I'm going to start to put my icing on. Now, if you're going to do a lot of these, go ahead and use your quick icer. It would be so much faster. But for one or two, it really doesn't pay to fill the quick icer. So I'm just going to use my spatula. Put a nice thick layer on and use your turntable. I'm going to use one of Leah's tricks, and I've got a parfait strip here that I'm just going to go around the edge to smooth it with. Now, parfait strips are probably not something you home decorators are going to have in your kits, but what you can use instead is the very edge of a plastic bag. Works great for that. Now, for this video, I'm going to transfer it onto an 8-inch cake board because I want it to be a single serving. But we're going to put this into a second video as well, and if you're actually transferring this onto a graduation cake, you're going to do the same thing that we're going to do here, just move it onto the cake instead of the board. You want to just get your spatula under there, turn it to make sure that it's loose, and transfer it. Now we want it transferred to the back third of the board, so we have room for writing, and make sure you've got your angle at the place where you want it. Just like that. So I've got a ruler and I've got a box cutter. You can use any kind of a knife and straight edge here. The ruler just helps to, make it a little more solid. You just want to run that along the edge here. And make sure that this is not too cold. If it's too cold, it's going to break. Once it's cut like this, you want to stick it back in the freezer for, maybe 3 or 4 minutes just to make it sure it's real solid, and then we'll move it on to our cake. So there is our finished hat topper. Just take a little bit of the hard edge off there, just lightly. Bring your cake back over and stick it on. Now, we didn't say this before, but basically your square is exactly double the diameter of your cake. So it's a 3-inch cake, you want a 6-inch square. And you're just going to put that on lightly. At this point, I would probably put it back in the freezer for maybe 3 or 4 minutes just to make sure the whole thing stays together. But it's pretty solid. Next step is we need to add the tassel, some writing. But I think that I am going to do the writing first. So let's say that this graduation, the colors are red and white. I'm going to put them right on the board here. And I'm going to write congrats. Now, if you're going to write the whole word congratulations, please look it up and spell it correctly. It's a T, not a D. I've just got some red and some white together in my bag. Congrats. There we go. There. That way I make sure I don't get my tassels or my flowers in my writing. So I'm just going to start right here in the center, and I am going to drop a line. So that means start to squeeze, lift, and let it fall right to about there. Now I want to create my knot. Just like that. If you can see, it's kind of a tube. And we're going to use kind of a string work technique. So we're going to pull here, let it drop. And I am going to let this tassel kind of come down there for a little flare. Pull it again. This is string work. And we're just going to continue that till we have a nice thick tassel. We just want to add a couple of little details here. One to kind of cover our bottom edge, but also just for a little flare. I'm going to put a sweet pea here, and then another here. And then just 3 roses, 1 large and 2 small. And if you've never seen me do this rose on a stick before, we will link the video so you know how to do it as well. Now you got to get under the edge your lip here. So see, I'm kind of twisting my wrist there. Squeeze my scissors, pull. Now we need 2 real small ones. Now sometimes I get some mail from you guys that your roses are sliding down your stick. So on the next one, watch how high up on the skewer I start. I'll point it out. Okay, so this one I gotta twist my arm the other way. Tuck it in there, just like that. Okay, so watch this one. See how high up on the skewer I'm going? Way above the skewer. That's how you keep them from falling down. Just a little side note. Okay, and this one I don't have to twist anything. I'm just going to place it right on there. We're just going to add a couple little leaves in here. Now I've just cut a V in the end of a parchment, which works great if you're just doing 1 or 2 things. Actually, sometimes I'll even use it for a wedding cake because I can really control the size of the leaf I get this way. And just delicately get it in there. And that's really it. A single serving mini graduation hat cake. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make a graduation cap out of candy melt, out of Mega Muffin. I liked it, thought it was fun. So remember, you guys can join me on Facebook at The Art of Frosting. You can also join me on my blog at www.theartofrosting.blogspot.com, where I share a whole lot of the work that you guys send me, pictures from all over the world. That's a lot of fun. Share some of that on Facebook too. Also, don't forget to subscribe, it's free. If you like us, please give us a like, make a comment. I always answer you guys. Love to hear from you. So lots more to come. See y'all again soon. And don't forget to watch part 2 of this 2-part video. Thanks. See you soon.